This is Faith.
And this is Addie.
And you are listening to Mama Bear Connects. Hey, Addie.
Hi, Mom.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good.
That's good.
All right. So, we are super excited. This is our introduction podcast so that everybody can get to know who Addie and I are and our purpose of
The podcast.
We have a lot of life experience that we feel like is good experience to share with other people. So why not put together a podcast?
And it'll be even better because teenagers are so hard to understand. And so you get my point of view on things.
Yes.
14-year-old's point of view on life. And parents. My parents are great, so it's okay.
Yeah, we feel like there is a huge importance of the dynamic between kids and their parents, and the importance there is of having a friendship with your kids as well as that parent role. There is a very fine line between parenting and being the friend, but being a friend is very important, especially when they start getting into harder trials in their life and things that aren't so fun to deal with, so that they know they can come to you and trust you when they are going through hard times. So that's one of our big goals.
And I can personally say that my parents are my best friends. A lot of my friends don't believe me because they don't have such a great relationship with their parents, but that's what this is for, is to have, it's not a how-to, it's a influencer. That's what this is. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited. I feel like this is so important, and we have had confirmation after confirmation after confirmation
that we gotta do it.
Yes.
So we are.
Woo-hoo. So here we are creating this beautiful podcast for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Especially ourselves, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It'll be fun. Okay.
So, fun fact, Addie burps when she gets excited. So, if you hear her burp in the podcast, that's why.
It's because I'm so excited. That's actually true, though.
That is true. So we're going to kind of jump into what our goals are for this podcast. And Addie, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I will go first.
Okay.
One of my goals for this podcast is just to help kids my age. Why did I say that like that? My age to have good coping mechanisms and understand that they're not alone in what they're feeling, because I've gone through a lot of stuff and I still deal with a lot of stuff mentally, and I'm working through it, and I really want to help a lot of other kids out and have other parents understand a teenager's point of view on everything. That'd be super cool. Yeah.
Such goals.
Yeah, I'm just super excited for it in general.
Mm-hmm. Me too. So my goals are very similar to Addie's, except for the reverse is the parental role. We have a very strong relationship, Addie and I, and so we tell each other everything, and we communicate with each other and have just a really open relationship with what we're going through, and really we're very empathetic, her and I, so we can feel when there's a problem between one or the other person. So that's one of our magic pieces to our relationship, is just feeling what each other is feeling like. I also have the same connection with our son. He may or may not pop in every now and again on podcasts. If he does, he'll just say something goofy probably. But that's Rylan, so hopefully we'll get a chance to introduce him, and my husband as well. We'll probably have him come and be a part of the podcast every now and again so that he can put in his knowledge in parenting and the things that he's learned over the years. So my goal is just to help parents see that there is an opportunity to have a friendship within parenting, and also instill those boundaries in your children, but help your child know that they can come to you in any time in their lives. And that's really one of my biggest goals, and want to really just inspire people to live their best lives and help people have good tools to cope with life and hard things that come about in life. And we will be doing like inspirational quotes and
funny stories.
We have lots of funny stories.
Also a lot of embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
So that'll be a party.
So one day you guys will have to hear about our Oregon trip to Crater Lake. That was awkward. So we have a lot of great ideas that we are going to be putting into this podcast. If ever there's a subject you want us to go over, we do have social media set up now on Facebook, on Instagram. Please communicate with us. We would love to hear which topics you would like to hear or interaction on topics that we do talk about. We'll be sharing pictures and funny quotes and inspirational quotes and stuff like that along with our podcasts each week. We do have a goal of getting out one a week, so hopefully that will be a good baseline for us, and we'll be able to start creating more as we go along. And hopefully I remember to not say "and" so much.
Me too.
I think one thing with recording yourself is you realize how often you say a word like "and" or
Mm-hmm.
So that will be a goal of mine to
not say
"and" so much. So just a little introduction to who we are and the things that we've been through in our lives to help aid us in this journey of podcast life. We will introduce ourselves kind of on a more personal level than just such a wide range. So Addie would like to introduce herself first.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my name's Addie, but I'm pretty sure you know by now. I'm 14 years old. I'm in 9th grade, and I'm excited for this year. I'm really pumped up. I have good teachers, fun friends, and I'm just super excited. As of right now, I don't do any extracurricular activities, but I'm starting cross country with some of my closest friends. I think this Tuesday, actually. I'm excited. I really like reading, painting, listening to music, dance parties, hanging out with friends, all normal teenage stuff. I never get into trouble. I hope I never do. I don't think I will.
I hope not. You guys will know if she does.
Yep, that is for sure. Also, I personally am so excited to share some of the stuff I've gone through. It'll be really, really deep also. It's not going to be like a light scraping of it. We're going to go detail. It's going to be really good to hear about. I lost a close friend to suicide this past school year, and that was really tough, but I learned a lot of new stuff, and that really took a toll on me, and it caused a lot of issues. But it's okay because I'm past that now, and I'm doing good.
And we're learning from it.
Huh?
And we're learning from it.
Yes, we are. I also am excited to do this because there's a lot of things that I changed about myself when I was starting to get really sad, and I can't wait to share it so parents can notice the changes in their kids if there are any, and they can help their kids out if they notice it. Yeah, I have a pet hedgehog, and he's really cute. His name's Ozzy. Yeah, I think that's all for now.
For now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I'm Faith, for those of you that don't know me. And I just have a lot that I've gone through in my life. As a kid, there were a lot of things that I went through, and different things that I had to kind of learn and cope with, and all the things. I had a good childhood. There were just a lot of hardships within my childhood that I just had to learn how to grow up and be responsible and self-loving and caring and all the things. So that was kind of a really quick introduction to my cute little childhood. When my husband and I met, we met at a local skating rink, and he was adorable and just being goofy and so cute. I just was googly eyes over him, just couldn't believe how adorable he was. And I was 16, actually I was 15 when I met him, and then when he and I started dating, I was 16 and he was 18. We decided that we wanted to get married that same year.
Ooh.
I know, right? And so we did, with our parents' approval, everything laid out and was planned and turned out really great. We had the support of our close family and friends, and it was really awesome. And then, unfortunately, about 6 weeks after we got married, September 11th happened. We had just joined the military right before that, so we really quickly realized that our lives had forever changed. So that was really difficult, especially being 16 years old and realizing that my love of my life is gonna be at war for who knows how long. So that was really difficult, and we had our son the following year, right before they were getting ready to deploy in 2003. We had found out we were pregnant with our second child, and that was about probably 4 weeks, I think, before he left. Maybe a little less time. But we had an ultrasound and saw our cute little baby just bouncing around, and strong heartbeat, and everything looked wonderful. And he had left for Iraq in March of 2003. I had a miscarriage May of 2003. So it had been about 6 weeks or so after he had left. I was almost 15 weeks pregnant when I lost the baby, and had a 1-year-old to take care of. And I was only 18 years old at the time. So that was really hard. Gratefully, we had amazing neighbors that helped take care of me and our son. During the deployment, I was in a really, really deep depression after I lost the baby, and was by myself. My family was all not in Texas, and it was really hard. It was really hard to go through that, but we had really amazing neighbors that helped us a lot while my husband was deployed. After that, he got home from that deployment in March of 2004, and May of 2004, we found out he was leaving for Korea for another year. So we had 2 months to prepare for another year-long deployment. So we definitely tried to cram in as much as we could in that 2 months. And a lot of crazy things happened. Our house got hit by a car. He was in a jet ski accident. He crashed a miniature bullet bike. Like, anything that could possibly go wrong in that 2 months pretty much did. It was a crazy time. 2 weeks after he left for Korea, we found out I was pregnant with our little rainbow baby Addie. So that was terrifyingly exciting. I remember getting on to, I believe I emailed him. We might have been IMing each other. This was like pre-Facebook times, people.
The Stone Age.
The Stone Ages. So I think I emailed him and was like, so just so you know, you're a dad again. So that was really awesome and exciting. And at that point, our son was 2 and was just full of life and just so fun. So I moved back home just in case I had another miscarriage, that I would be with family. When I was preparing to move back home to be with our family, I had like cleaned our house from top to bottom, completely clean, dusted, everything, and finally sat down to take a break, like hours and hours and hours after cleaning. And then all of a sudden I started smelling baby powder. And I was like, what is that smell? So I just turn around and here comes little Rylan covered head to toe in baby powder. And then the dog's trailing behind him with baby powder handprints all over the dog. So I followed him out to our living room and there was baby powder all over the table, the living room table. Then I walked into the kitchen and this was like the industrial size of baby powder, people. Like, this was a huge bottle of baby powder. He had dumped the whole thing out on the kitchen floor, all over the kitchen table. And I was trying, like, I took him outside and sprayed him off and then went and stuck him in the corner so I could get everything cleaned up without getting anything else, like, stepped on. And all of a sudden, the air conditioner turned on and it sucked the baby powder up into the air and it snowed baby powder all in our house. It was horrible, but it is one of my favorite memories now. And he came up to me after the air conditioner came on and said, "Mommy, I pretty?" And he had put mascara all over his face. So, yeah, so that was my quick little sidetrack. No, you're going to find that Addie and I sidetrack a lot, so we have shiny object syndrome. So bear with us on those.
Is that really a thing?
Shiny object syndrome? I don't know. I made it up.
Like, oh, so it's not in the doctors or anything?
No.
Oh.
For example, so after that deployment to Korea, Wes was able to come home just a few days before I had Addie. And was home for a couple of days and then had to go back for the remaining last 4 months. So we then had a 4-month-old and a 3.5-year-old when he came home from that deployment in August of 2005. So that was super fun. And then he was supposed to get out of the military in 2006, I think. And he had gotten stop loss, which for those of you that don't know what stop loss means, it's like a lockdown on the military, so you can't separate, and it came in place like a week before his separation date. So we ended up having a 22-month long separation. It was 18 months total in Iraq for him, that last tour. And we saw each other like 6 weeks, I think, maybe, of that 22 months. So again, I moved home to be with our family during those deployment, or during the length of the deployment. Unfortunately, the schools where we lived sucked really bad, so I ended up moving back down to Texas before he got home because our son needed a better school environment that knew how to help and manage military children. And Yeah. So he got home, he got out of the military, became a police officer, was a police officer for 3 years, and then we moved back home again to be close to our family. So that is it. Yeah. And he is now a photographer, my husband, and he is an amazing photographer and gets to do really cool stuff as a photographer and has done really cool stuff. So we're so proud of him, and he's teaching us some of his photography tricks. So we take pictures ourselves every now and again. Yeah, so that's kind of me in a really long, drawn out snapshot of me and what we've been through. We've been through a lot of loss, a lot of heartache, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff that's kind of like just deal with it. So we've learned a lot of tools, a lot of coping tools to get us through. There's a lot of stuff over the last like 6-7 months that we've really worked on with our personal development and coping skills with hard stuff. Like Addie was saying, she had a really scary time after her friend had committed suicide, and we had to shift our parenting role into a very strong, firm friendship role so that she knew she had a safe place to come to and talk to us when she was feeling the worst. So I'm really looking forward to talking more about the trials that we've been through and the ways that we've managed to get through them, the relationship we have with our kids, suggestions we have with the lessons that we've learned through our parenting, through watching other people parent. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys listening. Please, please share, comment, follow us, do whatever you can so that you get the opportunity to hear our awesome voices every week. And always, give us suggestions. We would love to hear them. And let us know what you think. If you have any feedback, any comments, let us know. We are very open to feedback, so please be kind and give us kind feedback. Also, real quick, I forgot to tell you guys, I also like to paint. I love to paint, actually. So that's one of my talents that I have that I really enjoy, and something you didn't know about me. So thank you so much for listening to us. We hope that you will all have a beautiful week, and we look forward to inspiring you throughout the years to come. Thank you. Thank you very much.